Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. John Oda, and thank you so much for joining me today. So, welcome to Doctor's Corner. We are going to continue on our teens and preteens. Now, you guys know this is like maybe the end of May. School's coming out. So, as a parent, what are you going to do with your child, your teen or your preteen? And for you guys kids who graduate high school, man, congratulations for that. Or going into high school, congratulations for that. Or wherever that they're at, congratulations for all that stuff, right? You know, when they graduate high school, what's next? Are they going to go to college? Right? Or are they going to do, what are they going to do? Because that's the next step. I remember when I graduated, oh my God, 40 years ago. Whew. Yeah, it was 40 years ago. Matter of fact, I got a 40-year high school reunion coming up pretty soon, so that's going to be interesting. And of course, I go back to Michigan City, Indiana to figure out what's going on. Right, so my biggest goal and I'm so sorry, people don't know me. Let me give you a brief history of who I am. Born and raised in Michigan City, Indiana, number 8 out of 10, so I'm a baby boy. Growing up, I had a severe stuttering problem, went to private school. None told me I was going to be retarded. Never graduated 8th grade. I should go to a special school. Garfield, matter of fact. And mom, being the strong mama that she is, she said that's not going to happen to my child. And of course, I didn't go. So because I said, if John leaves, they'll leave. And I stayed. But it was a struggle and it was a challenge. Self-esteem, coming from leadership saying that you're retarded, that you never graduate 8th grade. It's like being struck by lightning. Of course, I overcame everything because I had great parents. And parents who believed in God. So that's always a plus. If my parents listened to the Nun, I would have still been in the group home today. Because that's what happened. I just praise and thank that I was born at that household, and I had the parents that I had because my parents were phenomenal. I spent 35 years in the mental health field working with. My main population was working with adolescents. That was my main population. Came out with a book in 2006 called "Connecting with Your Teen." I'm reworking it. I'll put it back out pretty soon. That's really a great book. It got a lot of great stuff to connecting with your teen. I believe that when you work with family members or work with a family, I should work with all the parents said, "Well, my teen's bad." Okay, he could be bad. It could not be bad. But where did he get these behaviors from? Right, and sometimes the parents have to understand that sometimes the way they raise the kids or the communication skills is terrible. And parents also need enhancement skills. And when parents realize that, that's when the world changes, right? Because a person can notice behaviors that their kids should make, but they never notice the behaviors that they should make, right? And when I'm working with any family, it has to be parents as well. Because as a child, whatever you see, you would do. It's like monkey see, monkey do, right? And that's what can actually take place. So if you have an anger issue and your kids see that, so will they. The way you handle money, so will they. Everything that you do, they're going to model that behavior from you. So it's not just a teen issue, right? Parents have a huge role in it. And a lot of times, the parents does not take their responsibility. And to me, that's one of the real sad problems. But it happens all the time. There's nothing wrong with it. It just happens all the time, right? The natural thing to do is blame my kid. It's my kid. It's this. It's that. So here it goes, guys. School is coming out very, very soon, right? Maybe a week or two, they're out. Right. And if your kids are coming home from college, man, congratulations. Well, now we're going to come back home. So here's a question I have for you. How is the rules going to be? Do you have any rules? What's going to take place? If they're going from high school to college, what's going to be their next step? If they're still in high school, what are they going to do throughout the summer? Right. So when I was working in the mental health field and when I started doing my private practice back in 2000 and beyond, right, I used to have summer programs for my kids and parents as a must, right? Because my goal was to stretch them beyond the thinking and teach them some skill sets. Now think about this, right? When I was going to school, we had kids that were so freaking confident. No, the confident blood didn't come inside my blood until later on in life, right? But they're just confident, right? And they were just, they're just men among boys when it came to confidence. And as I said, back in the school system, some people had it, some people did not. That I did not have. Do I have it today? Absolutely, because I worked my butt off for that. So, your kids are coming out of school. Now, remember when they're in school, right? They have a what I call a level system, right? A behavior modification system. And that's why most of them, they go to school and they do extremely well. What do you have at your household? Do you have like a behavior modification level system that when they come on home, everything is structured? Because you know that when it's not structured at home, it's going to be a zoo. Right? And people have to understand that. Because imagine they're home. After you get home, it's from work. The house is messed up. The kitchen's not clean. Blah, 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 blah. Why? Most of them don't have any chores. Why? Because the parents are not the leader anymore. The kids are. So when the parents become the joker or the friend, when we mentioned in the last program, it's not going to really help out these kids at all. So here's what I'm doing, right? I am going to create or put together this summer, and I'll have more about it on my website, which is drjohnlewis.com. I'm going to put together a program for parents and teens. But it's not just going to be any program. The program is going to be so amazing that in 90 days that your kid, your teen or preteen, or even yourself, is going to go through a metamorphosis. You're going to start off as a caterpillar, and in 90 days, you're going to go to a butterfly. You're going to look differently, act differently, behave differently, have goals, have a communication skills to get along with Johnny if you have problems with Johnny. Johnny is going to have the most self-esteem, the most confidence that you ever seen this kid behave. He's going to have so much stuff that you're just going to be amazing. You know, when I used to work in Michigan City in Indiana, we had some of the roughest, toughest kids out there, right? You know, so, you know, most of the kids, you know, there was gangbanging, or the girls had suicide attempts. It was just so much stuff going on, right? And my number one goal was, okay, how can we create a program that can work with them? Then we started inviting the parents. That was interesting. But my God, the outcome was amazing. So what I'm thinking about doing is doing it online. If you're in the Irvine area or the Chicagoland area or the areas that I will actually go to, I will actually also do a live program. Because I believe that if you get both, everything changes. I worked with over 100,000 kids when I used to do a private practice. Most of them were seminars and workshops. And that's what I did for a lot of my parents and teens, with seminars and workshops, right? When I did that, we had a 90% success rate. Let me tell you how I consider a success rate. My kids going to college or trade school, right? Or getting their associates or their bachelors or their masters or their PhDs or their MDs, which we have a lot of them, are commercial pilots, whatever that they wanted, they became. Why? Because I taught the same strategies that people get from Tony Robbins programs, I taught to my adolescents and parents. The exact same thing. I got trained by these guys. My love and my passion is to give this stuff back to parents and teens because they need this. When they understand how to communicate, see, everyone have different parenting styles. We don't care about parenting styles. I care about communication. When you have a family mission statement and you stand by that family mission statement, now my parents had one, right? And my parents' mission statement was that all the kids are going to college and graduated. We had 10 of them, as I said, We all did, because that was their mission statement. That's what they lived. Right? And through my experience, if you work with the entire family, your life will never be the same. Because a family who works together stays together. So I'll put more on my website, which is drjohnoda.com. I will figure out what I'm going to do, the whole 9 yards, do webinars so you guys can explain what's going on. But this is for the entire family. And everyone says, well, it's not me, it's Johnny or it's Sue. No. If you're the parent, you have a challenge as well. And we need to enhance your skill set. Right? And now, if you don't do this program, that's fine. It's not a problem. But here's the question I have for you. What's next? If you don't do this program, how are you going to function with your kid in the summertime? Do you have a game plan? If you don't have a game plan, create a game plan. Now, if your kids are going from senior to college, we have a core program that gets them ready for college. Figure out what major is going to be, how to act in college, the whole 9 yards. We literally hit every avenue because that's the key. Because we want to create this so the kids can have this. Anyway, guys, I can go on forever, but I won't. So my next one that I'm going to do, guys, is going to be like, remember, I'm not sure you guys are as old as I am. Remember this lady called Ann Landers? Right, and back in the day, back in the 60s, Ann Landers would have this advice columns, and she would focus on advice. People would write in, and then she would actually give some feedback. So my next session here that I'm going to do is Ann Landers technique. I am going to come up with concepts of old cases that I've known, and I used to write articles for like about 100 papers back in 2003, 2004 for like I wrote for about maybe 4 or 5 years in the state of Oregon. In the state of Oregon, yeah. So I wrote for a lot of papers, and I got my old articles I was looking at a couple of days ago. So I decided to break them down. I'm 20 years more smarter now, and so I'm breaking down a little bit differently so people can actually understand. And this way, people can get benefits of what these other kids or parents are going through, and then get some strategies to actually move forward. Now, if you have any questions for me, please email me. You can email me at john@drjohnoda.net. That's a great one. Or you can email me at drjohnoda@gmail.com as well. Tell me what questions that you have, and on my next show, I'll actually answer them. Anyway, guys, I hope this helped out a lot. I don't know. I just had something in me to talk about parents and teens and talk about parents and give them some feedback and give them some strategies, because the same strategies that you got that you see from Tony Robbins and all these great people that speaks and charge all this beautiful income is the exact same strategies that my parents and teens learned as well, because I was taught by them. All right, guys, I would love to stay longer, but until the next time, take care and always. God bless. Bye for now.